Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to yet another great edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. Another awesome guest is Grace my Topic Time set tonight, and we're going to get to her in a minute. But first, got to read these amazing underwriters, and then we will commence with the show officially. So we got Pro Tint Window Tinting in Abington. We got Dairy Twist on the Move in Pembroke. It's a new underwriter, and they travel all over the South Shore to events to provide services and good food. Red's Emporium Deli, Dairy Twist on the Moves in Pembroke. Pro Tint is in Abington. Red's Emporium Deli, that's in Duxbury, with Topic Time fans get 10% off. Another new one, Riva Pizzeria in Marshfield. Another new one, Live Creative Cuisine, also in Marshfield. They got Advanced Auto Car Care in Rockland. Let's see. It's advancedautocarcare.com, and good cars under $6,000, good credit, bad credit, no problem, 3 months powertrains in every car. We've got good old Dave's Automotive on Route 58 in Hanson. We got Plimpton Cycles in Plimpton, great motorcycles and service. We got Nickerson Auto Body in Kingston. We got the Brazil store at the Poopsie's Plaza in Pembroke, where they sell imported Brazilian products and foods. And we got Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. I want to thank you guys very much. And now we will do Topic Time. But before I start the actual show, I want to just do a shout out because it's 9/11, and I know that we need to remember that, all the people that sacrificed for us on 9/11, and we need to never forget that. And I want to thank you guys again very much. I know it's somber, but we need to, again, we need to make that point every time. This is only the second show I've ever done on 9/11, and so that's what I'm doing. But now we will, commence with the show, that having been said. So this young lady here, this is Natali, say the last name?
Patel.
Natali Patel, okay? She's the makeup artist of Meta Rastogi, Mrs. India, Rhode Island, that I had on a couple of weeks ago, and now she's here as my guest. I immediately knew that she would be a great guest when I interviewed Meta a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you.
And so we're going to talk to her tonight, find out all about her, and possibly look at some footage of things that she's done. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, Natali, thanks for coming in and being on Topic Time with me tonight.
Thank you.
2 weeks after the show with Matt. So, tell me about. Okay, you sent me a little bio of yourself. You were born in India in the early '90s, and then at 2 years old, you came to the United States, correct?
No, I actually moved to Dubai.
Dubai. Okay,
yeah.
So you. What was the first? What was the name of the Indian village that you were born in? Because I couldn't really pronounce it.
It's Baroda.
Okay.
Baroda, India.
Okay, so 2 years old, you moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
What was there?
Well, I stayed in Dubai. My dad was an engineer, so he worked in Dubai, the actual city. So we stayed there about till 1998. That's when we moved here.
That's when you moved to the United States.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we talk about that, talk about what life was like for you growing up in India. You were there for 6 till you were 8, correct?
No. I was only there till when I was 2 years old. So I was born in India, and then I moved when I was 2 to Dubai. Is
Dubai another country? Oh,
yeah, so it's United Arab Emirates.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that totally was over my head. Okay, so what was life like in Dubai for the 6 years you were there?
Honestly, I don't remember much because I was not that young. I was not that old.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I only remember going to school there, and it was actually very strict. I remember. I think the only memory I have is not doing my homework and getting hit on the hand with the ruler by the teachers. But I would come back home, and my parents would be like, "Oh, you didn't do it again."
Oh dear.
So they would always write a note, like on the notebook, basically how they do over here. Like when they send kids back home, they'll have like a little note from the teacher.
Yep.
So that's the only memory I had, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound too much like it's too much fun, but you've obviously come a long way since then. So, all right, let's talk about so in 1998, you were a little girl, you came to the United States. What was the reason for that? And let's work up from that. So talk about that.
Yeah, so my dad had an engineering opportunity here.
Virginia?
Roanoke, Virginia, yeah.
Okay.
So there's a company there, Virginia Transformers, so that's where he works. He does transformers. Basically, he's a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
So he got a position here, and that's how my whole entire family came here.
Okay.
Better opportunity.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then what did you do as you grew up in Roanoke, Virginia?
So when I was in high school,
did some things. Go ahead, talk about that.
Yeah, when I was in high school, that's when I knew I wanted to do the cosmetology field.
Okay.
and I had told my parents about it because there was like a technical, it's like a technical school basically. You could do it while you're in high school.
Okay.
And you can take that program, become a cosmetologist licensed. So I wanted to do that, and I kind of pursued that to my parents, but
They wanted you to go into the medical field.
yeah, because like everyone in our family, like either engineering or something in medical, so they were like, you know, why don't you do something that like you can have a better career opportunity in.
Okay.
So I ended up going to VCU.
Okay.
It's in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, yeah.
It's Virginia Commonwealth University.
Yeah.
It's a medical college in Richmond. So I did psychology there for 4 years.
Why'd you pick psychology of all the medical
So it's the
practices?
easiest science.
Okay.
And, like
Okay.
the easiest science subject.
okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to do that. I didn't realize it was so broad at the time. And like I needed to do something like once I graduate, I needed to have like a concentration to get like a nice job.
Okay.
So in Virginia, there
Well, let me
weren't that
ask you,
many.
I have a
Yeah.
quick, right off the bat.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Now, your parents wanted you to go into the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to do something else. You wanted to be in cosmetology.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds to me like even though you were doing this, you were kind of reluctant because of that, correct?
At the time, yeah.
At the time, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to clear that up because I wanted to know if that being reluctant prevented you from accomplishing things in that field because you felt that you didn't belong there. I mean, we have to ask these questions
Yeah,
because
of course.
whenever there's a conflict of some kind, we have to resolve it, and that's what we're trying to do. All right, so what happened with that? So go on.
So I ended up getting the degree, and I moved back to Roanoke.
Okay.
It's like Roanoke is
Back to
just
Roanoke from where?
from Richmond.
Oh, okay.
So
Roanoke
it's
and
3
Richmond are two
hours
different
away.
towns, right.
Yeah, it's 3 hours away.
Right, okay.
So after I finished college, I came back home. And in Roanoke, it's such a small city, so I couldn't find any jobs related to my major.
Okay.
So I told my parents, look, I got my degree, let me go to cosmetology school now.
Okay.
So then I ended up going back to cosmetology school, and I did that for 2 years.
Where'd you go there?
It was a Millermont Technical College.
Is that in Virginia also?
It's in Roanoke, Virginia.
Virginia,
Yeah.
it's in Roanoke,
So,
okay,
yep, it was in
yeah.
my hometown, so
Right.
that was very beneficial.
You didn't have to
'cause-
travel very far.
No, I
Okay.
stayed with my parents, so didn't have to pay much either because I was living with them and commuting,
Cool.
15 minutes away from home.
Oh, yeah, great.
So it was nice. Once I got my degree, my parents were like, okay, it's time to get married now. So I basically was looking for guys, and there's an Indian website called Shadi.com.
Okay.
So I met my husband through that website.
Okay.
He lived in Massachusetts, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
how I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Yeah. So in April 2017, we got married.
Okay,
so
so you're still
moved here.
newlyweds, really. It's only been a couple of years.
Yep.
Well, a couple of years is probably not new. Maybe after a few months, you're no longer newlyweds, but 2 years, I guess, but that's good. So how's that
Yeah.
going, all right?
Yeah, so instantly I was like, bigger city, more opportunities.
Right.
So I was like, I'm ready to move.
That's great.
Yeah, so I ended up.
Your parents knew best. That's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah, they were very supportive after, like, throughout the whole journey of,
Okay.
like, me finding someone and, like, being able to, like, move further from them. They were okay with it.
Okay.
So I was looking already.
But they're here today with you.
These are my, they're actually my in-laws.
Your in-laws. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Very supportive.
Yeah, okay.
They're not even my in-laws. I would say they're more like my own parents because
Oh,
they're so
gotcha.
supportive. They come through like everything that I ever have, like any events, any big events or
Okay.
accomplishments I have. They're always there with me.
Well, sounds like sounds like your husband is a dream come true for you.
Yes,
That's awesome.
definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, so as far as your cosmetology is concerned, when did you start actually doing that?
So once I moved here.
Okay, to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I did get a job in Estee Lauder, and I worked for them for 4 years. While
okay, I remember reading that in your
So
bio.
while I was doing cosmetology school, I
Yeah.
was working as a makeup artist for Estee
Where
Lauder.
are they located? Estee Lauder.
So it was in Tanglewood Mall in a store called Belk. So it's kind of like Macy's,
Where
but
is it?
Tanglewood Mall,
Yep. What city or town? or state?
Roanoke.
Oh, that's still Roanoke.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha,
still in
okay.
Roanoke. Yeah.
Okay.
So while I was in cosmetology school, I was working too as a makeup artist.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were like doing an internship.
Not really. I was
But you were still working. It
Yeah,
was a job.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a
Sometimes
job. So
people
I was
get
getting.
paid for doing internships. but
Yeah.
This was a job for you.
Yep, and I
Okay.
was actually getting trained as a counter manager for Estee Lauder. So I
Okay.
was working there, and I was, training there to become their manager for that store, basically.
No, Estee Lauder, but
Yeah.
they're a national company, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you're going to work for Estee Lauder, could you work for any outlet in the country?
Not,
They're
yeah.
everywhere, aren't they, pretty much?
They are everywhere. So if I wanted to move and I wanted them to transfer me, they could have done that.
Okay.
But at the time I knew I wanted way more. I didn't want to stay with the company forever because
Right.
like once I got my cosmetology license, I knew I wanted to expand myself and be a freelancer.
That's great.
So once I moved here, that's exactly what I did.
That's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how you, and then obviously business was good. And this was what, 2017?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago?
Yep.
Okay. Did you have, when you say you're a freelancer, how do you promote yourself?
So when I moved here, I
Yeah.
took classes. So there's a celebrity makeup artist from
classes where?
California. There's a celebrity makeup artist from California. Her name is Samana Roshan. So
Okay.
she's known as Dress Your Face. And she had a class in Virginia.
Yeah.
It's a big master class. So when I saw that ad, I was like, I have to go to this and get certified from her because that's a big hit when people know that you're certified by her
Okay.
because she's so well known in the industry. So I ended up going to that master class, getting certified by her. You know, she was in person and she taught us all these makeup tricks. So after doing that class, I started doing more promotions that I'm now Dress Your Face certified.
Okay.
And I started getting more wedding orders.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And how basically how much have you expanded since you started with her? I mean, how many orders a week do you get? And we're going to talk about what you've done with Meta too, because she's a
Yeah.
pretty big deal, being Mrs. India, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But and I want to know too. I noticed. Were you with that fashion show on August 11th?
Yeah,
too?
in Foxborough.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
do you model too?
I don't model, so
Okay.
I do private events like for clothing companies. So
Okay.
I do like styled shoots. And I model for those, but I don't do like any ramp walks or
understand,
anything like
okay.
that. But the style shoot, I just got a big opportunity from New York. It was called House of Hira.
Okay.
And the fashion designer's name is Noor. So I worked with her, and it was one of her clothing lines that she just released. So I wore her lehenga, and I had a dress as well, chudidar, that I had wore.
Okay.
So I did a shoot on that, and you probably saw, it's my Facebook picture right now,
Yep.
the profile picture. But I did a shoot for them.
Okay.
And then I also have one actually coming up, and that's it's by Rashika Sharma. She's the fashion designer, and it's based off in India, in Delhi.
Are you going to go back to India for this?
No. So she's working with me internationally.
Okay.
So she will be sending outfits here,
Oh, cool.
and I will be doing her line. I'll be showcasing her line.
Well, good. That's awesome. And when's
Yeah.
that going to be?
So that's actually coming up within the next. I'll be doing that early October.
Well, early October, but
Yeah.
they didn't tell you exactly what date. Do you know yet?
No, so we're doing a style shoot with a photographer, so
Yeah.
we're still setting that up. She will be sending the outfits by end of this month. So
Okay.
it all depends on the shipping, because internationally, sometimes it can take longer and sometimes it can be quick.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. That should be coming up on Facebook as well.
And that's also going to, on Facebook, you will indicate the location as well?
Yeah, we always put in like all the vendors that work with us. So
Okay.
we'll be tagging, you know, the clothing designer, the venue, the photographer. All that information will be there.
Okay. You know what I've noticed is we're talking, you don't have the Indian dialect that a lot of the women that I've talked to have. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Is that because you've been in the U.S. so long, you think?
Yeah, I moved here when I was in second grade.
Well, okay. So you have more of an American dialect, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I just noticed that. Okay, so how did you end up with, working with Meta?
Meta. So I met her at the fashion show.
The day I was there.
Yep.
Cool.
So it was a big fashion designer, Rohit Verma. He's also a Bollywood celebrity fashion designer. So
Right.
that was also my big hit. Like,
Okay.
got the opportunity to work that show and do the makeup for all the models on there.
Yep.
So that was very nice. I
Must've been
met
a lot
her
of work.
through
There
that.
were a lot of models there.
Yes, we started at like 8 in the morning. We
Right.
finished at 5:30 in the evening.
When I got there, it was already after 3, so I could
Yeah,
see. And
I was on my feet all
yeah.
day long.
Yeah, I know. I remember. Wow.
Yeah.
But that's good. You love that, and you're great at it.
Yep.
So you're actually living your dream job.
Yeah.
And you're happily married. Do you have any children?
I don't have any
You don't
children.
have any children yet.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's fine. I mean, this is the way it should be right now. You're young still,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing what you want to do, and that's the way and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So, as far have you ever done anything else like in entertainment? I'm just wondering, you ever done any singing, dancing, music?
I used to be a dancer for when I was in college, undergrad at VCU.
Okay.
I was part of a fusion dance team,
Cool.
and I was the co-captain for that. So
That's
we did a
awesome.
lot of competition. We did one in Tennessee. We did a few competitions in Virginia itself too.
Okay.
But after I got married, I haven't had an opportunity. But if I did, I would probably pursue it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun to do. Keeps you
Yeah.
in shape, obviously.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely does.
Now, fusion, I've heard of fusion dance. It is competitive, just like ballroom dancing, but it's probably faster.
Yeah, it's an Indian mix, so it's
Right.
Indian music and American music,
Okay.
and there's different styles we incorporate. So we do like Bhangra, we do South Indian, so like different basically fusion styles
Cool.
of dancing.
Have you ever made up anybody that was in a film?
No, I haven't so
or play?
far.
Okay, because I'm thinking you might want to. That's the next step for you, I would think. I always try to give advice to my guests that will help them out. But there's so many people, that do films now around here. You might want to see about possibly working with people, making, getting on, you freelance, but you get yourself on a wardrobe. What's the word I'm looking for? Wardrobe. What's the word? Wardrobe. What's that's clan possibly for a film, like a wardrobe, whatever they call it, that puts the makeup on to the
Yeah.
actors and stuff. That might work.
I get you, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I don't know why I couldn't come up with a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It might
well-
be something you want to look into. Might want to look into.
Yeah, definitely. I do have like a dream of being, opening my own salon or spa.
Okay.
So that's where I'm kind of headed
That's the next thing you wanna do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am also, I'm also doing my master's right now in psychology. So
Oh,
I have
so
my
you're still
hands
at the-
full.
you're still working on
yeah.
psychology.
So after I came here, I actually pursued further because my husband was like, "Why don't you do both?"
Yeah,
Because
that's-
like it's a big city, it's a big state, so you're definitely going to find a job here. So I work for Beacon Services. I'm a behavior therapist, and I like help treat autistic children.
Wow.
So
Well, I'm autistic too, so you're in good company. I'm serious.
Really?
I mean, that's what makes
you can tell, so
special.
that's really good.
Thank you. Yeah,
you
no,
can tell.
I
That's
use it to my
amazing.
advantage, and you can, if you want, you can tell all your people that you work with about me, and maybe it'll be an inspiration to them.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Beautiful. Thank you.
amazing. So I'm actually pursuing further. I didn't realize how much I like working with kids.
I think
so
your parents
now,
knew. I think they had something, and it just took a while for it to sink in, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, because psychology. I mean, and you had something
Yeah.
too. You picked psychology. That's a great field. It is.
Yeah.
And so that is incredible. Where do you help these people? What do you
So we have
counsel them?
we have like a little private practice space, and sometimes we do at-home sessions
You
too,
do?
and we
You
do
go to people's
also
houses.
sometimes we do for interventions, and
Right.
we'll go there and check on the housing as well, and then sometimes we go to daycares as well, and
Yeah.
we'll see how the kiddos do in a daycare environment. So we will see each different environments that they go through, and the more they go out in the community, the better it is. So we kind of help them
Yep.
as they get older. We want to make sure that they're more comfortable with doing community skills and stuff
Exactly,
like that.
including social skills. That's the
Yeah.
big. That's the big one
Yeah.
right there. No, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And that keeps you busy. What about the possibility, if you're going to start your own salon, about opening your own practice too, your own psychological practice?
Well, with my master's degree, you can do that,
That's what
but
I mean.
yeah, I'm trying to become a behavior analyst.
Yeah.
So getting
Maybe
my
have the-
BCBA
maybe have both-
license.
Maybe have both
but
businesses in the same building.
it is, but it's a lot of work to have your own private practice.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know if I want to go that route. I know for sure that I want to become a spa owner, but I'm not sure about owning my own practice. That's a lot of work.
It is.
And a lot of liability
is, that is
with
true.
families. So I think I would want to work for a company most likely that's
Okay.
well known in the area
Okay.
and help them kind of grow more.
Have you ever, you know what McLean Hospital is?
No.
McLean Hospital, okay, they're a patient for, they're a hospital for people that are, they have psychological issues. It's up in the, I believe it's in Waltham. It's either Waltham or Lexington, one of those towns on Route 60. That might be someplace you might want to try up there. McLean Hospital, it's big, it's a big hospital. It's like the most prominent psychological hospital in the Boston area. And I've actually had therapy there on an outpatient basis. I've never been, not recently, in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, that might be something you might want to look into, just that you might be able to work with people there. There's a big, it's a nice area. it's very spread out, and there's a lot of, you know, it's like a campus, you know. It's, and you can work with people like one-on-one in one of the many rooms that they have in there too. And they have a couple of big function halls that you can you have meetings with people. You can have like meetings with, you know, individuals, or you can have meetings with groups of people depending on what's needed. That just might be something you want to
definitely look into that.
Look into that. So.
Yeah.
All right, so going forward now? Here we are. We're going in the fall. You got that event coming up that you just mentioned a little while ago with the makeup. So what comes after that? What are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm also doing a Navratri look too. So it's a big festival that comes around like this in October.
Okay.
So it's basically a festive month for us. It's like a form of dance that everyone gathers and does.
Okay.
So for that, there's like a certain look that Indians do.
Okay.
It comes from like Rajasthan, India.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that as well with a photographer from Connecticut. Her name is Aisha, and she's based off in Connecticut area. So her photography company is called Pure Life Photography.
I've heard of Pure Life.
Yeah, so
That's
she's the
awesome.
one who did also the House of Hira photo shoot for me as well.
Okay.
So you'll see her a lot in my Facebook.
I will. I'll look for it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any photography yourself, or anything else in art? Writing, sculpting, drawing?
No, nothing other than, you know, really.
Making people up is an art form in and of itself. I figured maybe you had other artistic talents as well.
No, not unfortunately.
No,
I
it's
do.
okay.
Yeah, just the dancing that I used to do, and then makeup artist is, you know,
Okay.
what I do right now.
No, right. Okay. And
Yeah.
you're obviously keeping pretty busy with that.
Yeah.
So you met at the fashion show, and so now I mean, obviously the more fashion shows you attend, the more opportunities you're going to have.
Yeah, definitely.
And that must be incredible.
Yeah, they have like a lot of pageant shows and stuff over here as well. So I'm looking forward to doing more fashion shows for them as well in the future.
Okay.
So I'll definitely keep looking into that as well. And any other fashion opportunities that come here, I'll be definitely doing that. I think right now also with working with Rashika Sharma, the Indian based company, the fashion designer from India and Delhi.
Okay.
I think I'll be working with her closely as well.
Okay.
I'm her brand ambassador, so I will be promoting
You're her
her
what?
brand ambassador for her.
Okay, ambassador.
Yeah,
Wow.
for her company. So I will be promoting a lot of her line clothing as well.
And as an ambassador, what do your responsibilities include?
Well, I think mostly just promoting through pictures. I will try to get as much publicity I can for her clothing line in Massachusetts.
Okay.
In fact, her line is actually coming up. There's a new line for winter, and there's a new winter clothing collection that's coming up soon in October. So
Okay, cool.
she's releasing that soon.
So basically, but you do most of the stuff online, right?
Everything is like based
Everything's
online. Yeah.
promotion. Where have you done? I'm just curious. Have you traveled aside from Massachusetts? Have you ever done any like fashion shows in New York, California, or anywhere else?
No, since I moved here, I've only been so busy doing a lot of bridal makeup. So
Okay.
because I'm also in my master's program,
Okay.
there's not room for anything extra that I can take on my plate right now. So
Right.
I've only done a lot of weddings for brides. I'll do their bridal makeup, and let's just put it this way: like for Indian weddings, it's like 3 days long. So
Yeah,
there's
so
like
yeah.
bunch of ceremonies. So my weekends fly by.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no time to do like anything extra.
But when you're done with school, you might branch out a little
Yeah,
more,
of
right?
course. Yep.
Okay. Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show.
Awesome.
Okay, so like we talked about before, like we did with Maida, you want to give some shouts out to people that are going to see it, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to my in-laws, my mom and dad, that are actually here to support me today. I want to say thank you to my husband, Akshay. And I also want to say thank you to my parents back home in Roanoke, Virginia as well. And I want to thank everyone else that's watching this, or that's going to be watching this. And of course, I want to thank you as well for putting me on this show.
Delightful.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
excited to see how this comes out.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's going to be great. Okay, do you have any, I'm just curious, do you have any, like, you've never done any acting yourself at all, right? Or thought you've never tried it? Or done any filmmaking?
No.
Or never acted in a film, or
I've never acted on a film before.
would you ever consider trying it?
Probably not. I think I have more passion for putting on makeup on actresses
people,
and
okay.
actors. So most likely, if I ever get a chance to work with a celebrity who's already like, you know, in films, that would be amazing.
That would be. That's what I'm saying.
I'll take that.
Right. Okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right, so I'm just trying to think. So next, so you got that thing coming up that you mentioned, and then after that, you're gonna be working with that photographer.
Yeah.
Okay, and but you're always when it comes to doing photography, do you give the advice to the photographers about how to arrange people's wardrobes or anything like that?
Of course. So I think what I do as a makeup artist, I have done a lot of like getting brides ready too. So I kind of
Right,
know,
okay.
like,
Do you do a lot of wedding makeup?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll kind of get the bride ready too. So keeping in that mind, yeah, I'll tell the photographer to like, you know, let's style it this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must feel good to know that you can do that and they trust your word.
Yeah.
And that, I'm just curious, that dress you're wearing today looks amazing. Did you design it, or did you know the person that did?
No, I didn't design it. I just got it from the mall.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, you obviously have a good taste in fashion.
Yeah, actually, my mother-in-law came shopping with me, so this was one of the dresses that
She has
she
great
saw.
taste.
So, yeah,
Okay.
she's always the one who's shopping for me, so she has a very good taste. I'll go with it.
Hey, okay, I'll go with it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, are you ready to wrap it up like
Yep.
you did before?
Yep.
Okay,
Sounds
folks,
good.
I know it's a little unusual episode of Topic Time today, but more great ones to follow, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Here we go.